What is up? What's up, everybody? We are live. How are we doing today? Oh, good afternoon, Frederick. How's it going today? Let's say hi to some folks. Welcome to another live stream, everybody. Good to be back after having a little hiatus from last week. So yeah, great to be back. If you're new here, welcome. This channel is all about HomeKit and smart home stuff. And every week we live stream, hang out, discuss any, stuff in the news or any updates, that kind of thing. Then we'll do some Q&A and just hang out for about the next hour or so. So let's go ahead and say hi to some folks real quick and see who we got here. Frederick, I saw you there in the chat. What's going on? Glad you could make it here. Jeff from Michigan is here. What's up, Jeff from Michigan? With the cool little emoji face there. Good evening from the Netherlands, 9:55. Thanks, Eric, for hanging out with us tonight for you over there in the Netherlands. Let's see, Kevin is here from the UK. Awesome, we got people from all over the place here. Uber, Hackers, Com. Hey, what's going on? George, Silverhammer Surveillance. What's going on, George? Let's see, Bo, DJ Lee. Dina, William, what's going on, everybody? Glad you guys could make it. You guys doing well? How's everybody doing? Shane has a tan. Yeah, I've been away for a little while. That's why we missed last week. I was celebrating 10-year anniversary with the wife. We went down to Florida Keys, Key West to be exact. And man, just had a great time hanging out down there. Beautiful place. I shared a lot of it over on Instagram. If you follow me over there, you probably saw some of that. But yeah, it was a good time. I actually lost my bag for the first time ever. That's never happened to me. I always hear stories, but that has never happened until this time. So the first day that we were down there in Key West was spent mostly trying to go buy clothes and stuff because I actually wore sweatpants down there. Which wasn't going to cut it because we left here pretty early in the morning, actually drove to Atlanta and then flew down to Key West. And by the time we got there, it was hot. So I had to go buy some shorts and flip-flops and all that stuff because I did put an air tag in my bag, but that didn't bring me any closer to my bag, unfortunately. So yeah, I didn't realize they scanned my bag wrong or something, and it wasn't until I got there. I actually got notifications through the little airline app saying that my bag was on board and all kind of stuff, but they scanned it under the wrong name or something like that. So they actually shipped it to Detroit. So my bag went to Detroit. I went to Key West. Long story short, but it's all good. Worse things have happened. So. But yeah, it was definitely nice having the AirTag in there, once I got to Key West and realized my bag was not with me, because when you're talking to people, it's hit or miss with customer service, tell you one thing and other things happening, this or that, you don't ever really know, you got to call in, but being able to pull up, the Find My app and always see exactly where it was at, I could tell if anybody was, BSing me, whether or not they were getting my bag to me was nice. Yes, Frederick, I did get my bag back. It took probably, was it almost 2 days, I want to say. So they did get it there, but yeah, I definitely had to go get some other clothes and stuff like that to wear. Ordered some curtains and other Switchbot. Oh, nice. Lone Star Trent. What's going on, Lone Star Trent? Glad you could make it here. Larry is here. Happy anniversary. That place that you two were staying was off the hook. It was, man. It was beautiful. Just a beautiful room. Really enjoyed it. Had a good time. Didn't want to come back, but, got to get back to it. So immediately started working on the studio when I got back. Put up some more Nanoleaf lines you might see back there. So those are new, and just trying to get the studio where I want it to be. Let's go ahead and jump into some things. First of all, if you want to become a channel member, I usually post, let me see if I can copy this link, and I didn't post this yet. So if you want to become a channel member, I see we got a lot of members here in the chat today, which is awesome. Thank you guys for hanging out and supporting the channel. I'm going to post this, I'm going to pin this to the chat. So if you want to become a channel member, you can do that. One of the things that I know a lot of us love is our member Discord, which I'll give you a little sneak peek here. So this is our member Discord. server. As a member, you can get in here, and I'm in here every day just to kind of show you a little bit. We've got topics for all kinds of smart home stuff you see along the side here. Got a little Matter channel, wall mounted iPads, and then we got categories for all the different products. So just a good place. I get in here every day, and this is kind of where I prioritize responses and things like that. I try to get back to everybody regardless whether you're on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, but I'm definitely in there every day, and that helps support the channel, which is always appreciated. So yeah, link to that is in the chat. I gauge it. What's going on? How you doing? Hello, fellow smart home lovers. Thank you for joining us here. Simon's 324 recently got Eve door and window and updated to Matter. Stable, a bit unreliable for me. Got some unavailable status. Yeah, I've kind of had that issue when it comes to updating products to Matter. But yeah, the Eve has been out, and we'll get to some Matter stuff here in a second. There's some more stuff we can talk about. Seems like every week, and we did miss last week, so we've got some things to catch up on. But definitely seems like every week we've got some new Matter updates or HomeKit or Matter updates to discuss. But the other thing I wanted to mention, because I think this came out maybe it was last week sometime. Of course, we didn't live stream last week, but was that new HomePod feature. So I don't know if any of you guys tried this, the smoke and CO2. Basically, your HomePods, that sound recognition, they have sound recognition now, so they can detect smoke and CO alarms, which is awesome. Carbon monoxide alarms, which is really cool. I tried this and tested it out. Actually, let's see, over on my channel, if you missed it, I posted a YouTube short. So no, not that one. Unfortunately, YouTube still doesn't let me pick my thumbnails for these shorts, which sucks. So that's why you get these crazy faces. I can't choose my thumbnail on the shorts. But anyways, this right here, I actually tested this and showed it. So if you want to see kind of what those notifications look like, you can check out that little short video. Really cool. I see some new things. Again, I don't know if any of you guys have tested this, but there is a new kind of notification feature when you utilize this. So when you get a notification that the HomePod has detected smoke or an alarm like that, there's a new notification, and it's really cool. You can pull up cameras if there's any cameras nearby and kind of intercom directly to it. So I'm really curious to see how else they're going to utilize this. I feel like there's a lot of potential there, and hopefully they'll use that in some other ways. I don't know if you guys feel the same or if you've tried that out, but I feel like there's got to be something more for that. But check that out if you don't have any idea what I'm talking about. And I feel like, one thing that gets brought up on this channel or on these live streams a lot, people seem to ask about smart smoke detectors. To me, this kind of eliminates the need for one, really, for the most part. I mean, you get notifications and all that from your dump. So I set off my dump smoke detector, and then my HomePod gave me notifications, and I mean, it's awesome. So I see some talk about the FP2 already, huh? Yeah, last week's video, the Aqara FP2. We'll get around to that for sure. We'll do some Q&A. Let's see, this past week's video was the Aqara FP2. That thing has been pretty awesome. So we'll talk some more about that in a minute. But next up, let's see, the EcoFlow blade. So if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen this. This isn't really HomeKit related, but I want to mention it just because I got one and I've been testing it out, and it's pretty crazy. So this is the EcoFlow blade. So if anybody is using a smart robot lawnmower, let me know in the comments what you're using, or if you like it, what your experience has been. This is a new product. It's available to pre-order today. It's very expensive. It's like over $3,000, but it's kind of unlike any robot lawnmower that I'm aware of. It's got these crazy like all-terrain tires. I posted over on my Instagram channel. I guess I keep talking about Instagram. I guess I should share my Instagram. You can find me pretty much everywhere at Shane Creates, but here I post a lot of my behind the scenes stuff over on Instagram every day. Instagram. I can't spell today. But yeah, follow me over there if you want to see more of this kind of stuff behind the Airborne Max says, thought it was $42,000. No, it's not quite that much. Let's see, if you go to buy now, I think it'll tell you, yeah, so, oh, the price looks like it's come down, I think, some. So anyways, around under $3,000 now, and it's got this attachment. It actually like can rake up the leaves and stuff too. It's pretty insane. I was using it earlier today. I was hoping to have a video out on this. I kind of want to make a video on this just because it's something I've been wanting to try a robot mower. I'd love to integrate this into HomeKit somehow. Since it's a new product, I doubt there's going to be any way to do that via Homebridge yet. Maybe somebody will come along and make like a Homebridge plugin, but I think even like adding a contact sensor to it, or I'm gonna have to get creative. I think there's something I can do probably for this to kind of get it into HomeKit in a way, at least like set notifications and stuff like that throughout the house. Maybe if it, leaves the base or something. I don't know. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. I wonder how wide it cuts. So it cuts, I think let me see here. Where is the specs on this thing? I don't want to get, there it is. Wide cutting range, it doesn't tell you right there. There we go. Wide cutting range, 10 inches. Okay, there we go. That's what I thought, but I didn't want to say. So that's what the bottom looks like. It's got these kind of like razor blade type of things. Pretty interesting. Like I said, I'd like to do a whole video. You guys let me know if you want to see a full video on this. Maybe even outside of my normal Sunday schedule. I don't know. Oh, you guys aren't even looking at what I'm looking. My bad. Here we go. There is the blades. Sorry about that. So yeah, it's 10 inches. Width, which is pretty good. And again, I was messing around with this over on Instagram today, and I shared some videos, and you can kind of see it working. But yeah, pretty crazy product. Let's see what you guys saying. They're talking about home hubs. I think LTT just reviewed it. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he did have a video on it. There's probably a few videos, maybe some others today. I saw that he had one out, Linus Tech Tips. And like I said, I was hoping to have one, but I just, with our trip last week and everything going on, I didn't have enough time to like actually use it a lot and review it and stuff. I think his was also more of kind of just a showcase kind of thing. I don't know that he actually used it and reviewed it, but I'd like to use it and review it for a while before I make a video, and just kind of share my experience, make sure it's something I like before I do that. And but yeah, pretty cool. Like I said, I posted a little Instagram reel. I might post that on YouTube later, but pretty cool so far. Definitely still testing it though. I haven't done the front yard. We'll do that soon. Please only ask your question or comment once. I see a few duplicates here. Please don't, please. Thank you, Garrett. Guys, Francesco, I've seen this. I see you posting a comment before about this. You got to submit tickets to Aqara. If you have issues or any kind of bugs, submit those to Aqara. Please, let's see, use some sort of antenna. Hi Shane, can I use some sort of antenna transmitter to the router or a hub instead of USB on the USB-C cable? I'm not sure what we're talking about here. Maybe, oh yeah, hopefully Matter support for the lawnmower. Can I use some sort of antenna transmitter to the router or a USB hub instead of, I'm not sure exactly what we're talking about on this one, guys. You cost my green thumb $3K. Yeah, I'd like to see robot vacuums gain HomeKit support, but I think it's going to come through Matter for sure. Definitely through Matter. Yeah, Patrick, I did say I was on Discord, but right now it's only open to members, so it's part of the membership, channel membership program on YouTube. So if you want to become a member, you can get access to that Discord. Again, that's, we got a lot of HomeKit stuff over. It's all HomeKit, smart home stuff, but this is our Discord. And we've discussed maybe opening it up to non-members, but right now it is members only. But you can get access to that by becoming a channel member. It's $5 a month, and you can get access to that and some other behind the scenes and stuff like that. We also do monthly member video chats, which is really cool. We do that once a month. We'll do it after a live stream the first Wednesday of every month, which is always a lot of fun. All right, and let's see, moving on. So Matter, so that's the EcoFlow blade again. Stay tuned. Let me know if you guys want to see more of that. I know it's not really HomeKit, but something that I was pretty interested in. So now new Matter products. Let's talk about this real quick. Wiz inexpensive smart lights. So this is like Philips Hue's sister company. I've never actually used any Wiz lights, but I know some people do. I think they're all Wi-Fi, directly to Wi-Fi. They're like cheaper smart lights. They're under Signify, so that's like Philips Hue's sister company or whatever. But they rolled out a Matter update to these, so you can now bring these into HomeKit, which before, wasn't possible. So this gives you more, more lighting options, I suppose, with HomeKit. And let's see. Wiz boasts a big selection of smart lighting options, all from shapes and sizes of bulbs and lamps to luminaries, string lights, and other products at just $13 for full color A19. So yeah, much cheaper than Philips Hue. So this could give us some good alternatives, especially maybe for some outdoor lights and stuff. I haven't really seen what all Wiz has available. So again, direct to Wi-Fi, don't need a bridge. And I think they beat Philips Hue to that Matter update. Philips Hue has a Matter update, but I think it's still in beta. Oh, we got a new member, Rick. Awesome. Thank you for becoming a member, Rick. Let's hit the confetti button. Thank you for joining and supporting the channel. It's much appreciated. Yeah, go check out that Discord. There should be instructions when you join as a member on how to get into that. But if not, you can just shoot me a message somewhere and we'll help you get in there. Let's see. Oh, answering other questions. So yeah, speaking of Matter updates, another one that came out. Again, this was last week, so maybe kind of old news, but I don't know. We didn't talk last week. So Nest thermostats are gaining Apple HomeKit support through Matter, which I was a little surprised by this one, honestly. So this is Nest's newest smart thermostat that you can bring into HomeKit now. Thanks to Matter. So let's see. This will give you the ability to adjust the thermostat's temperature, change the thermostat's mode, and more, according to Google. Yeah, so there's definitely going to be some things. It's kind of like Gobi. There's some stuff, I'm sure there's some stuff that you'll only be able to do in that manufacturer's app versus in HomeKit, but that's pretty awesome. And they said that they're, I guess, considering or looking into rolling out support for the older Nest thermostats, exploring adding Matter to older Nest thermostats. So we'll see what that means. Oh, we got a super chat. Thank you, Kevin, for the super chat. Much appreciated. That's very kind of you. Yay, Nest for HomeKit. Yeah, are there any other Nest users? I guess we could say that, Nest HomeKit users now. Sounds like something just fell in my house. Come on, people. 157 watching, only 29. Like, yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you like it. If you like hanging out and talking about smart home stuff. I enjoy it. Always fun to hang out and talk with fellow smart home enthusiasts. Question, and we'll do a full like Q&A in a few minutes here, but this question says, waiting to try Nanoleaf Essentials Matter bulbs. Am I right in thinking they are not doing a firmware update from HomeKit to Matter? You have to buy the Matter bulb. That is correct. Yes, this one right here, actually. So you got to buy the new one with Matter right there on it in order to get that Matter update. And speaking of Matter and Nanoleaf, we also have the Nanoleaf light strip. So I've been using these for a few weeks, and I also one of the things I did, I mentioned when I got back home, started working on the studio a few days ago from our little vacation. One of the things I did was I added this to my desk. So I permanently installed the new Matter Nanoleaf strip to the back of my desk. So I got some nice lights back here, but I'm kind of wishing I didn't do that, because I also got this like the next day. And not that I don't like the Nanoleaf. I love the Nanoleaf stuff. I plan to use it there, but I kind of wish I didn't do that so that I could kind of compare these side by side. So this is the Govi M1 light strip, and as you can see right there, where is it? Right there, it has Matter. Now you can't buy these Matter out of the box just yet, but they're coming soon. So looking forward to trying this out. This is about 6.5 feet. And interesting here, I think we'll see some more of this with products like this. So you see the Google Home and Alexa stamps there, but no HomeKit. They're just getting that Matter certification. So with Matter certification, you don't really need to get HomeKit certification. It'll still work natively with HomeKit without having to pay for that certification. So that's interesting. But looking forward to try that out. I've been trying some of the Govi stuff here lately as well, and really liking that. That'll be the first Matter Govi product. So interested to see how well that works, if it works as good as the Nanoleaf, because the Nanoleaf stuff, the Nanoleaf Matter stuff that I've been using has been working great. I mean, pretty much flawless. Both the light bulb and the light strip. You saw in that FP2 video recently, that light bulb that was triggering by my desk, that was the Nanoleaf Matter bulb, and it's been working great. And speaking of FP2, I guess we can kind of transition to that. If you guys have any questions, I saw some talk about the FP2. Again, that was the latest video, and we'll just do some Q&A. If you guys have any questions, drop those, and we'll kind of do a Q&A here for the rest of the time. If you guys have anything you want to mention, looking forward to the Govi Stuff review to see if it's worth saving the money. Yeah, so I think Govi Stuff has been historically less expensive than, let's say, something like Nanoleaf, but I think the approach they're going to take is their Matter stuff is going to be considered more premium, which, you guessed it, means probably a more premium price tag. So I think they're going to continue to sell non-Matter stuff, and then they're going to have Matter stuff at probably a higher price. That's what I think, just based off of some of the conversations I've had. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Let's see, Nest thermostat into HomeKit via Matter would be a great video. That means I would have to replace my Ecobee, and I really like my Ecobee. I just made a video on the Ecobee, actually. That I will admit though, that new the newest Nest thermostat right there. That does look pretty nice. Does look pretty nice. I don't know. Maybe you're onto something. We'll see. Let's see. I might try to do. We might do an experiment because it doesn't look like the question highlight is working as it usually does. So let's see. I'm gonna try something totally new. How many people we got watching? We got over 150. So no time like the present. Let's see. Let's try this. I have no idea how this is going to work, so let's see. All right, I just posted a question. You can drop a question there. I'm not sure if I can highlight it or what, but we're going to just try. So we're going to do a Q&A here. I think I can toggle back and forth. Let's just see what happens. Since my highlight's not working, you guys can just drop a question somewhere. I think you see a question box if you have a question, and we'll do a Q&A that way. Any problems getting Switchbot tilt into HomeKit? First of all, thank you for the super chat. Oh, there we go. Gotta hit the super chat button. Thank you, Mr. Dexter Sr. And any problems getting Switchbot to work in HomeKit? So it has been working really well for me. I did a video on the Hub 2 a couple weeks ago. Gosh, how long ago was that? Let's go to my videos here. Oh, that was a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So this right here, this is how you get Switchbot products into HomeKit through Matter. You have to use this new Switchbot Hub 2 that you see right there. Everything was working great for me. I did use the blind tilts. So I've got a video coming out on that actually pretty soon on the blind tilts because I basically redid most of my blinds in like the larger areas of my house with the Switchbot blind tilts. They've been working great. I have been able to get them to work with HomeKit. There's some nuances with it. I feel like in HomeKit, and I don't know if that's I think it's probably a HomeKit issue, but like some of the status is a little wonky, but I'll cover all that in the video. They've been working great in HomeKit. I did come home recently and from that little trip that I mentioned, and they were unresponsive. That was the only time I've had any like no response issues with the Switchbot stuff through that Matter hub. And I don't know exactly what was happening. I had some issues with some other Matter stuff as well. So I actually rebooted my router. I did a few other things, but I rebooted my router, and that's actually what seemed to fix it. And you know, as of today, they're still working well in HomeKit. So that seemed to fix the issue for me. And aside from that, though, they've been working great in HomeKit. Let's see. I have the Hub 2. Yeah, so again, I'm not sure if you're not able to get them in there at all, or if you are and they're non-responsive. So I'm able to add the stuff into HomeKit pretty easily. They actually, it's been one of the better ones to pair with Matter and get it into HomeKit. I've had a lot of like pairing issues with Matter products, different Matter products, but the Switchbot's been a good one. But if you have any like no response, maybe resetting your router. That was my issue recently. Healthy perspective. I love your new office look. Thanks. It looks really nice. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's definitely coming together. I had to clean real quick before the live stream because I got back into town and just been kind of going nuts. Just put those on the wall last night. I actually have some shapes that I think I'm going to add in there just to, you know, why not? Some of the black shapes, but we'll see. I can't wait to do a studio tour, but I really just need to do it. I have this tendency to, you know, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to wait till it's perfect, and then I end up taking forever to do a video like that. So I just need to do it as is and just show you guys the process, the progress, maybe do another one in 6 months. I don't know. That's what happened with the smart home tour. If you've been following me on YouTube for a while, you may know it took me, a couple years at least to make that smart home tour video because I just want to keep doing new projects and stuff. But I finally did it. So I need to do that. I need to do a studio tour. I think that'll be fun. Awesome. Thank you, Dan, for I'm going to go ahead and hit the confetti. I hope that's not too loud for you guys. Let me know if the audio is too loud on those. Dan is using his member chat and says Dan has been a member for 15 months. So thank you, Dan. Much appreciated the support there. And Dan says, greetings. Join the channel if you don't get your questions answered and hang out with us in the Discord. Yes, exactly. Dan is one of the many members who are in the Discord every day or very often and answering questions, helping each other. We're all kind of on this little, fun little smart home journey together. So, Lone Star Trent, also a channel member for 9 months. Thank you, Lone Star Trent, for being a member for 9 months. Did you, like me, start thinking that there are outdoor ideas using that FP2 sensor, or if it was rated for outdoors? So it's rated for, oh gosh, you put me on the spot. I mentioned it in my video. It's like XP something or another, so it's not going to be like weatherproof, but they say you can use it outside if it's like protected, maybe in a porch or something. It will probably be okay if it's covered and stuff like that. It does say you can use it in like a bathroom, so it's protected against like high humidity and stuff like that, so you can use it in areas like that. So it might be okay on something like a covered porch, and that's a good idea. Maybe I'll put one out there on my front porch. That could be a good use case. I could see that being helpful with my automations. But I haven't really thought about any outdoor ideas. I don't really hang out too much outside except on my front porch. I need to fix up my backyard and start doing more out there. But yeah, let us know if you end up using one outside and what you're using it for. Dan says the studio's looking sharp. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. XP5. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. IPX5. That's what I was looking for. Much appreciated. Thank y'all. Love the Discord. I go in there every day. Highly recommend joining. Thank you very much, Nicole. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been great. It was kind of to my surprise, one of my favorite things. Actually, my favorite thing about the member program. Some people just want to show support, so that's kind of why I started at. But that Discord has just been awesome. It's a really cool place. A lot of good folks in there. So let me see. Am I missing questions? I think I am. Let's see if there's any questions. Oh man, are these all questions? Let's see. Drop questions here. I'm not really sure. Let's see. Is this working? Nicole says, what is the paint color of your office? It is, somebody else asked me this. I have the swatch in my closet. Are you the one that asked me? Somebody asked me, I think it was on Instagram or somewhere, and I haven't had a chance to reply yet. But I'll have to find that swatch and let you know. I can't remember off the top of my head what it is. Do you see this? That's the start. Yes, thank you, Kevin. So it looks like we do got some questions here, so we'll try to work through these. If you have a question somewhere in the chat, I guess there's a button to submit a question. I don't really know. We're just kind of winging it today. Edgar's Tech. I want to show one of my favorite automations. Are you still receiving videos for your future videos showcasing them? Good question. Thank you, Edgar. I actually am not for this next video because I needed to start editing that one. But again, if you guys like that, if you like this next one, there was some good feedback from the first one. We'll keep doing them. It's always a lot of fun for me to get these. And so if you want to submit something, just kind of stay tuned. If you have already recorded it or you want to record it, you can go ahead and do that and just put it on standby. And I'll send another announcement after this next video. If there's, if it's well received, if it's something you guys want to do again, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I got a lot of submissions for this next one, so I've already kind of started editing that for that future video. For anyone with the FP2, have you seen an office chair throw the device off? Mine seems to think it's a person half the time. Only problem I'm having. I haven't had that. So I have actually, you saw in the video, Brian, I had mine in the back of this studio when I pretty much most of my testing. And I haven't had that issue. I sat here, I created a zone, as you saw in the video, for my desk. And I sat here, but I don't have like a headrest on this. So maybe that could be an issue. I don't know. I'm not sure why you would be having that unless maybe your chair is just different. But yeah, it picked me up when I sat here, and when I left, actually that Nanoleaf light would go off. So it worked for me. I haven't had that issue. What's a good outdoor light that can change color? Tracy says. So it really depends, Tracy, on like what you're looking for. There are like light fixtures like Philips Hue. I actually have a, let's see if I'll try to pull one up on Amazon or something. Let's see. So you got something like this. Any of these Philips Hue, well, most of these Philips Hue outdoor lights, they can change color and stuff like that. So something like that. I wonder if I'll be able to find it. So here's some other ones. There's a floodlight. These will require Philips Hue bridge. Philips Hue has the biggest variety of, there's another wall light. So it kind of depends on what you're looking for, I guess. If that's the kind you're looking for. Here, you just said outdoor lights. So I don't know, there's a lot of spotlights. I'm actually using, I did a video a couple weeks ago on the Govi outdoor stuff. So there are a few. Now, these don't work natively in HomeKit, but they're so much cheaper. And that's why I got some of them. Where are they? I got some of these right here. And I'm using HomeBridge. And I'm using these. These things are amazing. I love them. I can't wait for 4th of July to change my whole house red, white, and blue. But yeah, I'm using these through HomeBridge. And yeah, other than that, I mean, there's really not many options for HomeKit. And outdoor lights, we're kind of limited. Let's see, jump to the live chat. PSA, Nanoleaf bulbs with matter, lack adaptive lighting, and also have unreliable connections, super slow. Stick with older versions for HomeKit. Thanks for sharing your experience, Brian. I have not had that same experience. The Nanoleaf matter bulbs and light strip have been rock solid for me. So yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things, I guess, different experiences there. But yeah, thank you for sharing your experience. And yeah, you will lose adaptive lighting a lot of the times when you lose a lot of features when you're using matter, and it's just kind of the nature of the beast there. Let's see here. I was actually gonna. And we'll get back to some more questions here. Let's see. Oh, nice. Jeff from Michigan says his Govi stuff works great. Work really great. I highly recommend their wireless music sync box. Oh, wow. Very cool. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I have had my eye on Govi for a long time because their prices are really good, but unfortunately they didn't support HomeKit, so I held off. It wasn't until... Again, if you saw that video, you already know. It wasn't until these came out that I was like, okay, I think I'm going to have to try these because there's just nothing like them. They're freaking awesome. Here, I'll put an affiliate link in the chat in case anybody wants to check these out. And go check out my video on these. Again, not many options for outdoor lights for HomeKit, so I got these into HomeKit through HomeBridge. And man, they're so much fun. But yeah, thanks for sharing that, Jeff. And actually, you can't really see it, but there's a light in the corner. If you see a light back there, tucked back there in the corner, that's a Govi floor lamp. Excuse me, and I got that into HomeKit also through HomeBridge. So Jeff says, we mostly use the Govi for music lights, not anything else there in addition to other more standard lighting with HomeKit support. Yeah, I think when I don't know, around the holidays or something, I'm gonna have to use the music mode on the house where I had the whole house lit up with those outdoor lights. I'm excited to do something crazy, maybe for the holidays or Halloween, something like that, with the music modes. All right, let's see. Let me go back to the questions. I'm gonna try to get to y'all's questions here. Q&A. We got a lot of them. Let's see. Uh, Does Homebridge have advantages over Aqara or Toya Hub? That's kind of hard to compare. You know, Homebridge is going to be used typically to bring non-HomeKit products into HomeKit. That's what most people are going to use it for. You can also do a whole lot of other stuff with it. So I would say, yeah, I guess there's some advantages. You could do things like dummy switches and just a whole slew of things you can do with Homebridge. And you can't really do that with Aqara. So I guess so. Again, those are kind of hard to compare those things. I don't know if there is any updates on the abode security system. I think there was a firmware update recently, but I don't know if it was any significant changes. Not that I know of. Larry, I heard that the Aqara just officially updated the M2 hub to Matter. When do you think it would be safe to do that update, and what I have to repair maybe to repair my child device sensors, door sensors, etc. Larry, so you may have saw my video on that update. I think that's been out for a while. It may have been like a slow progression, that update, but I'm not jumping in to update stuff to Matter that already works with HomeKit natively. To me, there's just no need. So I can't remember, Larry, if you were using like Google Home or something like that. Maybe that's why. But even the M2 Hub, you know, the Aqara stuff already supports Google, Amazon. It supports everything already. I just wouldn't. I actually unplugged my Aqara Hub, and I haven't been using it since that the M2, the one that I updated to Matter. I still use the other stuff, the other Aqara Hubs in HomeKit natively, but not updated to Matter. So eventually I'm sure I'll update it. Maybe when they update the other hubs, I might give it another try, but I don't know. My experience, as I mentioned in that video where we talked about that, updating products that didn't support Matter to support Matter through firmware updates, that has been rocky. And not just Aqara, but other products that I really love as well. Those updates have been rocky. And the Matter out of the box stuff for me has seemed to work a lot better. So I don't know if there's something to that. Maybe it's just because it was early. But I wouldn't do it still unless you have a really good reason to. Why does my Logitech doorbell fail to connect to HomeKit? It worked for a while and then failed. I can't say, Paul, for sure, without knowing more information, but it's usually going to be some kind of Wi-Fi or network issue when you're having these issues. Could be a HomeKit Hub thing. Restart your HomeKit Hubs may help, but usually it's going to be some sort of network issue. Does adding multiple HomePods or Apple TVs provide resilience for a Thread border router? It should. It should create a better Thread network if you have more basically border routers. So those are just, that's expanding that Thread mesh network. So it should help. Should. It's hard to tell a lot of times what's going on behind the scenes in the background with Thread. Apple TV 4K or Aqara FP2? Can't choose. Oh man, that's like, I don't know. That's like, those are two totally different things. If you need a streaming device, go for that Apple TV 4K. I love the Apple TV 4K. I use it all the time. It's a HomeKit hub. It can do a whole lot of stuff. I don't know. I like both of these. They're both great choices. You can't get the FP2 yet anymore because it's sold out. So I don't know, maybe go for the Apple TV for now, wait a couple weeks, and maybe you can get the FP2. And also a heads up on that. I've mentioned it, I think, over in my comments on that video, the FP2 video. It is sold out now. They're supposed to go back on sale. They're supposed to be restocked around early May, I'm being told, and I should have a new discount code for everybody when they're back in stock. So check back again. Follow me on Instagram. And I'll also update that video description, the video on the FP2, once that's available. And yeah. Frederick, what do you want next for your smart home? Oh man, good question. It's hard when you have so much stuff. I've been very fortunate. Brands send me stuff nowadays to test. And it's just been a blast. So I get so many things to play with. I think what I want next really is just to finish this studio. So this, which you're seeing kind of every week, if you follow every week, and Frederick, I know you're usually here. This has just been kind of a dream to be able to build this studio. And you're kind of seeing a slow progression every week. It's getting a little bit more here and there. And I'm sharing a lot of it over on Instagram too. But yeah, I think what I want next is just to have this done completely. So it's looking pretty good, but there's still a lot of stuff that I need to do. Like, I still need to create all the automations for recording and all the different things that I want to do in here. I still need to tie back a lot of the cables, touch up some things, cable management, stuff like that you can't really see on camera very well, but like I just mounted a couple lights. I need to get those cables tied back. I need to fix some cables back there for the Nanoleafs. But yeah, so for my smart home, this studio right here is going to be, this has just been my dream. So yeah, that's what I want next, is to have this done, ready to go. You'll probably be seeing it a ton on Instagram because I'm just, I'm having a blast doing it. And I can't wait for it to be done and just have everything automated and working smoothly. It's going to be great. All right, questions. Looking to turn an Apple TV on and off based on a contact sensor in my outdoor TV cabinet. Any suggestions on the best approach to this? Unfortunately, that's not really something you can do. I don't know why we're so limited with Apple TV automations. It's not really something you can do. Honestly, the best way to do this is going to be using a HomeKit enabled TV. So if you can get you a HomeKit TV, then that'll be exposed to HomeKit as a TV. You can automate that on and off with automations and scenes and all that kind of stuff. And if you have your Apple TV connected through HDMI CEC, then it will come on when your TV comes on and off, things like that. So that's going to be the easiest way to do that. I do that actually in my living room. Like my good night scene will turn off my living room TV, and then my Apple TV and everything, goes to sleep when I do that. That's just done through a scene, but you can also automate that with a contact sensor. That's going to be the easiest way. What are your thoughts on the Eve Motion Blind upgrade kit? I have one left to update. No videos or reviews for it yet. Yeah, it looked really good. I got some hands on it early at CES this year, and it looked really well built. It looks like it has a lot of support for different sizes and stuff like that. I don't have any blinds or shades like that to use or to upgrade with, so I haven't tested it out personally at my house, but the Eve blinds and all the other Eve stuff that I've used, I've been a very big fan of. They make quality products, so I would assume that the Eve blind upgrade kit will also work really well. I have a set of, the Eve blinds, but these are the out-of-the-box blinds. My daughter's room, she uses that every day. And yeah, they make good stuff, so I would assume it's good, but I haven't used that one personally. Would you like to see Aqara come out with outdoor cameras? Yes, I would like to see that. That would be nice. Which bulbs would you say are most responsive? I don't use a whole lot of smart bulbs. If you've followed me for a while, you may have noticed that. I don't use a lot of smart bulbs. I use a lot of smart light switches in my house. I only have a couple of smart bulbs these days, and they're pretty much, I've just been rocking with the Nanoleaf. So this is actually one of the Nanoleaf Essentials HomeKit version, and then over here, this is the Matter version, and they've been solid for me. Again, I'm not somebody who has like 30 bulbs in my house. I know some people who do that, but let's see, I'll tap on and off, tapping it on and off right here in HomeKit. They're very responsive. I've been using this one to test out that FP2 among some other devices, and I can't complain with the Nanoleaf bulbs. But again, I don't use a lot of smart bulbs, believe it or not. All right, let me jump in the chat, see what you guys are talking about. My Nanoleaf thread bulbs, 3 total, are quite responsive. Green Arrow says, very nice. Question. So guys, drop your questions in the questions section. It's pinned to the top of the chat, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's pinned to the top of the chat. Q&A, drop a question here, and I'm kind of working through those questions that way, since my question thing is not being highlighted. We're doing it that way this time. But since I see your question here, healthy perspective, I'll go ahead and answer that. I started working on a third shift job, and I need some good blackout blinds, but can't afford the Serena quite yet. What would you recommend? Yeah, Serena, if you can afford it all day, every day, they're phenomenal. If you can't afford that, I would probably go with the Eve motion blinds. I feel like that's a good mid-level, so you'll probably pay about half, maybe less, than what you would pay for the Serena shades. You can get, they have a ton of fabric options, ton of customization, which I really like, and you still get that like mid-level pricing. So they're not as premium as the Lutron stuff, but they're still very good. And you know, Eve makes great stuff like we just said. And then if you need to go really budget, then you might want to look at the IKEA stuff. I didn't have a good experience with those, but it's been a couple years since I used them. And then also you can consider looking at the, well, you said blackout shades. I was going to mention the Switchbot stuff that you can now, you know, the curtains. So maybe you can get some blackout curtains and automate those, you know, with the rod, get the Switchbot curtains. That could be an affordable option maybe if you wanted to do something a little different. Or get heavy dark out curtains, Lone Star Trent said. Yep, and you, like I said, you can use, actually Aqara has a curtain motor that supports HomeKit and the Switchbot blind tilts. Now that one also supports HomeKit with their new hub. There's a couple others out there too, but those are probably the two best for curtain controllers. Question, did I notice the Nanoleaf have a fade out feature when you turn them on and off? Off. So yes, they appear to fade out. Guys, use the, if you can, use the Q&A up top. If you guys can still see that, let me know if you can't see that for your questions, because I don't want to miss your questions, and there's a good chance I will if you're not putting them in there. So drop your question in the Q&A. You should see pinned at the top of the chat, and I'm going to kind of work through those while we still have some time. Let's see. All right. I'm going to go back to the questions. Try to get through as many of these as we can. Let's see, where were we? Kevin, I've just bought the Switchbot lock and keypad, but have an issue with UK deadlock doors. Is there anything else I can use with it to make it worth keeping the hub? So the hub, I mean, any of the Switchbot stuff can work with the hub. The button pressers, right now the only things that support Matter with the hub, of course, is the curtains, the Switchbot curtains, and the Switchbot blind tilts, and hopefully in the future the lock, the button presser. The button presser is a really cool product. Maybe you can get some of those and find some cool stuff to do with those. And yeah, they just make a bunch of other stuff right now, cameras, all kinds of things, but none of that supports HomeKit yet or Matter. Hopefully soon though. Question, if you upgrade your Eve products to Matter, do they still work the same in HomeKit? They do, yeah. So the Eve, I really like the way Eve implemented their upgrade to Matter. It went really well for me. I did have some responsive issues when I updated my stuff, my Eve stuff to Matter, but the transition from just regular HomeKit to support Matter worked really well. Automation still worked and everything like that. So was happy about that. Do family members ever ask you for new smart accessories? No, not really. I'm the only crazy person I think around here that likes messing with all this stuff. I feel like most of my friends don't really. I've got some friends who I think are maybe starting to get into it, but yeah, I don't. I do have. Let's see. I got a friend who is kind of remodeling her house, and I'm going to be helping them probably do some HomeKit stuff. Might show some of that on the channel, so that'll be fun. And yeah, that's not a ton. Actually, I did have another friend too who's going out of town and wanted some cameras for some stuff, and asked me for some help there, and so I helped him out also with that. So it does happen, I guess. Can you tell us if we can use the Aqara Hub 2 and use it with the Bulldog water shutoff valve for HomeKit? You are awesome. Well, thank you. You are awesome as well. Let's see. Can we use the Aqara Hub 2? Maybe the Switchbot Hub 2? I'm a little confused on the question here. I'll try to jump in the regular chat and see if you can clarify. But can we use the Hub 2 and use it with the Bulldog water shutoff valve for HomeKit? So the Bulldog water shutoff valve, that's kind of its own thing. Of course, if you get it into HomeKit, you can automate it with any other HomeKit stuff. But to get that into HomeKit, you'll need to use either HomeBridge or some kind of Z-Wave. Depends on which Bulldog you have. They have a Wi-Fi version and they have a Z-Wave version. If you have the Wi-Fi version, you can use just HomeBridge to get that into HomeKit. If you have the Z-Wave version, that's the one I've been using primarily, then you need to use some sort of Z-Wave controller like Habitat to get that into HomeKit. So I hope that kind of clarifies that. Are you still happy with the Reolink camera setup? Are you able to use them in HomeKit automations or only view them in the Home app? Yeah, so I am still happy with them. They work great. They're, in fact, since they're, it's an NVR, always recording locally. If I do have any issues with HomeKit, I know I can always pull up my, Reolink NVR and look at that footage that way. But I am happy with them. I'm using scripted still, as you may recall from that video. And yeah, are you able to use them in HomeKit automations? So you can. I don't really use them in any automations. They're just like any HomeKit camera, really. So you would be able to use like the motion sensor or something. But I don't really like using motion sensors from my cameras for automation. So I don't really automate it with anything. But you could just like any HomeKit camera basically. But yeah, I'm still happy with them. How's your grandpa doing with his system? Was going to do something for my father-in-law, but don't want him to be frustrated. Yeah, so thanks for asking. He still loves it. I do want to go to his house. I've mentioned this before recently. I need to go to his house and do some updates. Since the whole architecture thing, I haven't been able to access his home in HomeKit, so I need to go back there, upgrade some of his stuff. There are some things that I would probably do differently. I don't know if I'm going to do a new video on that or not. I've thought about it. But there's a couple things I probably would have done differently as far as just setting it up. But learned a lot. The automations are still working. I've got, a Nanoleaf light strip in there and mostly just Aqara stuff. And all those automations are still working and he really likes them. So, the best stuff for him is the stuff he just doesn't think about. He walks in a room, a light comes on. A bunch of the buttons, those still work. So he likes that. I may add an FP2 sensor to his house. That might be really beneficial. Maybe something with like fall detection, mounting it on the ceiling. That might be nice. So I've thought about doing that. I don't know. Stay tuned. But yeah, he's liking it. It's good to, it's better if you're fairly close and you can go to their house if you ever need to. But, you know, most of the stuff before this whole architecture thing, I was able to access pretty much everything, you know, from remotely and make changes or whatever that way also. Oh, okay. Thank you, Brian. I can do that. I can remove, become a channel member, unpin now that we're about done with the stream. But when do you think Switchbot Lock will support HomeKit? Give a wild guess. Oh gosh, I don't know. A wild guess. Let's see. I don't know. Summertime? I literally have no idea. But yeah, maybe summertime. That'd be nice. Any tips on reconnecting an Aqara Hub after a router reset? It doesn't like me anymore. Oh man. No, I don't really have any tips for this because mine, if I reset my router or restart my router, restart is what I'm thinking, then my Aqara Hubs just automatically reconnect to the Wi-Fi. Maybe it could depend on your router. Maybe you're having some issues. You might need to turn off the 5 gigahertz if maybe that's an issue. It shouldn't be, but maybe that's an issue. Maybe you can turn off 5 gigahertz, let it connect through 2.4. That's kind of the only thing I can think of. I have not used the Lutron Caseta lamp dimmer, so that's that little plug. I have not used that. Again, I don't use a whole lot of lamps, but or smart bulbs, but I have not used that one. That's the one of the few Lutron products I haven't used. Have you seen or heard of any problems? I'm a little uneasy to update. I have heard of some things here and there, but I haven't had any issues personally. Yeah, everything's been pretty smooth for me. I'm trying to think if there were any issues that I can think of. Yeah, I mean, if you're nervous, especially with those little point updates, you can always wait. You know, wait a little bit. That's not going to be a huge deal. I asked about the fade in and fade out because my non-matter Nanoleaf bulb come up instantly comparing to my hue lights. Is that a new feature? You know, that's a good question, again, because I don't use many of these smart bulbs at all. I really don't know. If I turn that on, so it does, it fades on too, doesn't it? Yeah, I thought it was just fading out. I don't know. I can't really remember. If somebody with a bunch of Nanoleaf light bulbs will be able to answer that, I bet, in the chat. Does anybody know? Yeah, I don't know if that's a new thing or not because I haven't used the old Nanoleaf bulb very much. Yes, we're about a month away from WWDC. I can't wait for that. Also, you guys will do all the members that are here in the chat will do kind of like a little watch party thing over there on Discord. That's always a lot of fun. Can't wait for that. Hopefully, we'll have some fun HomeKit stuff to talk about. Let me see if I can run through these last few questions. And you guys let me know also if you like this format of the Q&A, doing it this way. Maybe it's something we can keep doing. I want to answer everybody's though. Healthy perspective. Have you started any projects that's made your wife angry with you? How did you survive that? She seems kind of gangster. She is kind of gangster. That's funny. Yeah. I have definitely started some. If you haven't seen my video on the smart home wife video, go check that out because I think that's something you would be interested in. Let me see where that video is. There we go. Smart home versus wife. This one is so 3 months ago. I sat down. I actually took questions from you guys. I got questions on Instagram and everywhere for her, and I sat down with her and asked her the questions, and that was definitely one of them. She talks about the times that she got frustrated with my smart home shenanigans, and yeah, that was a fun video. I just ordered my first HomePods, 2nd gen, and want to know how are tech working in your new office. Not sure the question, but my HomePods 2nd gen are working great. I've got two of them over here, using them with my Apple TV. I'm not sure if you can see those. Might be kind of dark, but I got two of them right here as a stereo pair for my Apple TV. And yeah, I love them. Are you familiar with scripted on Mac? My cameras stop showing in the Home app every so often, and it feels like it happens when I have to put a password back in, though I have the Mac set to no sleep. I don't use scripted on a Mac. I use scripted on it's on my Synology NAS is how I'm using it. But the one thing I can say, and I don't know if this is what is happening to you, but every time there's an update, and I thought I've had automatic updates turned on for the plugins in scripted, but every time there's an update for one of those plugins, or almost every time, it messes up the live stream. So I've got to go in there and try to fix that and get those automatic updates turned on. But if the live stream is not showing up in HomeKit, it's usually because there's an update to one of the plugins. I can jump into scripted, update my plugins, and then everything just starts working again. So I don't know if that's what's happening with you, but just worth noting, I guess. Maybe that'll help. Avoid using a Mac for scripted Homebridge. Use some kind of Linux, Dan says. Docker on Linux. Okay, thanks, Dan. Appreciate that. Yeah, Dan, I'm sure, knows more about that than I do. Using it on a Mac. I'm not sure what the issue is with using it on a Mac, but Larry says, I love the new format. Thank you, Larry. Okay, good to know. Oh, thanks, PalmaKit says Nanoleaf HomeKit. No fade, but adaptive lighting. Okay, true. So the fade is apparently a new thing. Thank you for clarifying that. Yeah, interesting. So we now have a fade. And I'll have to jump in the settings. I haven't really tinkered with a lot of the settings. I don't know if that's something that you can turn on or off. I'll have to check that once I'm off air and see if maybe that's an option. That might be an option, that fade in or fade out. I'm not sure. Lewis Copen Jr., what's going on? Glad you could make it. We're getting some thunder here. Question, if I upgrade my Eve devices to Matter, how do I re-add them to Home app? Wouldn't want to rebuild my automations. You don't have to rebuild your HomeKit automation, so we kind of covered this earlier. With Eve, Eve was one of the good ones, the way they implemented the firmware update. When you do that, if you already have your Eve devices in HomeKit with automations and all that stuff, all that will still stay intact, which is nice. That's not the case for other products. I don't think the Aqara stuff worked that way, and some other firmware updates, but the Eve stuff did that really well. So you shouldn't have to rebuild your automations if you decide to move forward with that Matter update. So with that said, guys, it's been over an hour, so we're gonna cut the stream here. It's been a joy as always. Great to be back here, getting back into the swing of things after taking last week off. Again, if you want to be a member and support the channel, get into that Discord and kind of hang out every month. Also, we do our monthly video chats. There's a link. Just hit that little join button down below. That should take you where you need to go. Also, new videos every Sunday. So we got a new one coming out this Sunday. We had that FP2 video last Sunday. So if you missed that, definitely go check that out. And live streams every Wednesday right here, and every day in between, usually over on Instagram, showing whatever nonsense I'm getting into that day. So go follow me over there if you're into that. And thank you guys for joining me. It's been a lot of fun, and I'll see you next time. Bye.